Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are doing a Q&A. My name's Jamie if you're new. Today I'm sitting down and I am going to answer some questions from my Instagram. I feel like this is where, okay, let's just share the secrets here for a minute. Come real close. This is where I find video ideas. This is where I connect with you guys. And this is where we just get to talk and hang out. Everybody wins. So I'm excited to sit down and connect with you guys and answer some questions. So as I'm looking at these, I'm definitely realizing that there are some questions that have been asked more than once that definitely require an actual video made. And a lot of them have to do with homeschooling and our daily structure. So I'm gonna do a separate video on that. So if I don't answer your question, but just hold on because there might be a video coming. All right, so the first question is, what did you do for a living before you were a stay-at-home mom, and what did life look like for me and John? I waitressed for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, and I loved it. I loved how fast-paced it was. I loved that I could think strategically and get stuff done and be efficient. And I tell people all the time, waiting tables, it prepared me for being a stay-at-home homeschooling mom of kids that are really, really close in age because it's just busy all the time. It's crazy. And honestly, I tell John that I would love to wait tables a couple of nights a week again when the kids get a little bit older, simply because I loved working in a restaurant. The next question is, did you ever doubt your faith where you didn't want to believe anymore? Oh, yes. Who hasn't? I've definitely gone through valleys in my life. I'm sure that you have as well if you're a believer, that you're like, where are you, God? Where are you? Why is this happening? Why are you putting me through this? I mean, I think we've all gone through those moments, right? Absolutely. Even just this last postpartum period, like, I have had many days where I'm like, don't you see me? Like, here I am, I'm praying, I'm asking for help multiple times a day, and things are still hard, you know? Absolutely. Absolutely. I have moments where I've doubted. But you know what? I am a firm believer that God's plan is so much bigger than what I could ever imagine. His will and his plan is good and perfect. And all I see is this really small bit of it. And I'm going to take something from it that I didn't have when I came in, you know, like, what is God teaching me in this? And, so yeah, I definitely have times. All of that to say, I have times where I've doubted. I have days when I just don't want to believe, and it'd be easier just to trust in my own strength. But my kids will tell you, my husband will tell you, everybody in my life will tell you that trusting in Jamie's strength is going to get you nowhere. Because I need to be 100% dependent on God, because Lord knows that in my own strength, I'm a hot mess. I am just coming out of almost a decade of infertility, high-risk pregnancies, and nursing babies. Oh, that is a lot. Infertility, high-risk pregnancies, and nursing babies. Mama. Here's a virtual Starbucks. My husband and I are trying to find our new normal in the midst of having 4 very young kids. How do you and John do it? What does dating look like now? It's funny because I have strayed away from like how-to videos on my channel because I don't know how to. And the more kids I've had, the more humbling it's gotten, where I'm like, I want to make videos on my channel to let you know that I'm here with you. I want to make videos on my channel to maybe give you some advice. I don't even want to coin it advice, like some experience that I have, you know, but we're all different. All of our families are different. All of our marriages are different. Everything is different for everybody, 100%. And so I don't like to just give advice. What does dating look like now? For us, we have realized how important it is to date. I feel like when we go out, I feel like a new person when I come home. I'm like, oh my gosh. I want to hold his hand when we're out. I laugh. We go to Chili's and get some fajitas, and I get like a $5 margarita on happy hour on a Friday night. My mom watches the kids, and I literally come home feeling like a new person. It's rejuvenating, and we feel close again. And then we're ready to take care of the kids, you know? A happy marriage and a good foundation sets the foundation for your home. And so John and I have seen that trying to get out. I mean, I would say that we probably go out once a month now, and we just have my mom come and watch the kids for a few hours. She loves seeing her grandbabies, and I mean, it's once a month, you know? And the reality of it is we've seen how important it is now that if my mom couldn't watch the kids, we do have a babysitter that we know and love, and we will have Melissa come over and I will pay the money for it because I feel like it's an investment. I would rather have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches twice a week for the rest of my life and have a little bit of money to pay a sitter and have my husband and I go out. That is worth it to me. So we just try to make time once a month, and honestly, I would love it once a week. Could you imagine? Once a week? I would be able to take on the world. I would be able to take on the world. How do we stay connected? We are learning how to do that. Just like I said before, like, we're learning. And we get in a cycle of just survival and trying to keep the kids happy, which, I mean, really is our life right now, in a sense, right? But when we're intentional about texting each other during the day, when I'm intentional about, like, maybe putting a bra on before he comes home, you know, like, let's be realistic here. I think the key to staying connected is to be intentional. Sometimes I can get caught in the rut of, like, okay, he's coming home and he's gonna save me from all the chaos that I've had to deal with all day. When, like, he's had a ton of chaos that he's dealt with all day, and home should be his sanctuary. You know, home should be our family's safe haven. And not saying that there aren't days that he comes home and I'm like, I gotta go for a drive because I need to breathe so that everybody survives through the night. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes that happens. But I think that when I am being intentional, when he's being intentional and texting me and asking me how I'm doing, asking me if I need to get out of the house, asking me if he needs to pick something up on the way home, not being mad that we're having cereal for dinner because today's been crazy. You know, like, when we're both working together, that's, I feel like, when we stay connected. What do you like to do in your free time? Hi, Emily. What do I like to do in my free time? I like to read. I found that I like to do things that give life. Does that make sense? Like, I'm all for binge watching crime, murder, Netflix shows, absolutely. But I found that when I have free time and I'm always using it to just, like, scroll through YouTube or scroll through Instagram, it's not life-giving. I've been doing a lot of reflection, so, like, a lot of the books that I've been reading have had, like, reflection questions on the in the chapters. So I found that if I have free time, I kind of go through and I'll answer those reflection questions. So a lot of my free time has kind of been deep lately, but I found that it encourages me and it boosts me up and it gets me motivated. And so if I take that time to kind of better myself, to go for a walk, to spend some time in prayer, to read, something like that, that's what I've been liking to do during my free time, just because I feel like it just kind of helps fill me up. I'd love to know how you chose your kids' names and middle names, and if there's any special meaning behind them. I'm pretty sure I answered this in a video already, but I don't want to send you on a wild goose chase because I can't for the life of me remember which video it is. So maybe I should just do a separate video on this to have it up. But all my kids' middle names are named after family members, and all of their first names are names that we just really liked. Ingrid's name has a little bit of a different special story to it, and I did do a video on that, so I will link it up here for you if you want to go check out why we named Ingrid what we named her, her first name and her middle name. Do you have any good devotional suggestions? Gosh, anything from the Daily Grace Co. I discovered them last year and I love them. I will link them down below, but they are a solid Christian company that makes a ton of awesome biblical resources for women. Amazing. I actually just got a box of their stuff and I'm going to share that with you guys in a separate video, but they are amazing. If someone, this is from Ashley from Grace and Grit, I've been binge watching Ashley's videos. If you're a homeschooling mom and you need a little bit of motivation, I mean, who doesn't? Ashley's amazing and she motivates me. Okay, so if someone handed you $1,000 and the only requirement was to spend it on you only, what would you buy? I don't know. Gosh, that is really good. My instinct is, like, I would go to Ulta and I would buy, like, all the makeup products that I don't have that I want to try, like, just fun stuff like that. I would want to go get my nails done. I'd go get a pedicure. The adult version of myself is like, it would go to debt, but the version of myself that says if you had to spend it only on yourself, I would probably just, I would have a ton of fun and I would just buy a bunch of fun stuff with it. All right, this next question is from Louise. It's so cool because I know so many of you guys from Instagram, just from following each other and just from years of commenting and getting to know each other. I love Instagram in that sense. There's so much community. Have you met any of your viewers and would you ever plan one? Would I ever plan a meetup? I have met a lot of my viewers. A lot of you guys have come and said hi to me, which is really cool. I always love that. Like, if you see me somewhere, which the chances of that are probably pretty slim because it's not like I have a huge channel. But if for some reason you see me somewhere, come say hi because I always love it. It's nice because you get to see me on your screen, but all I see is like your comments or your names. So sometimes when I get to see a face and talk with you, it's really cool. So I have met my viewers. I've never done a meetup before. That would be super fun, but no, I've never done one. I'm not opposed to it though. How did you become a Christian? I grew up going to church, but I would say that a huge turning point would be for me when I was a junior in high school and my parents' marriage fell apart, honestly, and once that divorce started and kind of my safety net was kind of gone, I really clung to God and I saw him work in my life just so amazingly. Curious if you'd always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom or if you had any other career ideas. I have always loved hair. I've always been fascinated by the idea of going to school and getting my cosmetology license. I've always been interested in beauty and that kind of stuff. And I've always been interested in forensic psychology. I always thought I was gonna go to school and I was gonna be a forensic psychologist. What activities do you have for your youngest kids to give yourself a minute to breathe? Honestly, my kids love playing with Play-Doh. They love coloring. We do watch shows occasionally, but I have seen the negative effects of screen time on my children. Like, I've seen it. Thumbs up if you guys can feel me on that, because everybody gets a little crazy when they watch too much TV. And so, especially because it's the summertime, I will have the kids go out back and they will jump on the trampoline. I will pull up one of the lawn chairs, sit down in the lawn chair and read a book while they're jumping on the trampoline. They go out and play on the back porch, and we have like a really big back porch that is enclosed and the kitchen is right off of it. What type of ministry do you feel that God is calling you to when John is finished with school? So John is actually done with school. He just finished seminary, he got his master's last year. And right now we are just taking care of our home and our family. I feel like that is our ministry right now. He is working a job that doesn't have anything to do with his degree, simply because it pays the bills and we have benefits, and he enjoys what he's doing. And I am home with the kids and I'm homeschooling them, and we are just being a part of our community at our church, building memories with our kids, and that's kind of what our sole goal is right now. I feel that YouTube is a ministry for me, all of you guys. I love reaching and connecting with you. We have aspirations for when our kids are grown. My husband would love to teach at a college. He would love to be a professor. He is such an amazing teacher. John he's such a good teacher. He loves teaching the Bible and he loves theology. He loves talking about theology with other people, and he just has such a gift for it. So I see that area, I see him being used there definitely one day. What do you do with your kids in the afternoons? I feel like I'm in a rut after nap time and quiet time. Yes, girl, I feel the same way. I'm trying to adjust our schedule so that it works the best for that situation. I find myself after quiet time being like, I'm done, the caffeine's worn off, I'm exhausted, I'm ready for a break. And so I don't know, right now we're trying to figure that out. I'm trying to figure out our schedule in the sense of like, would it be best to get the kids outside in the afternoon? That way they're running around and they're less dependent on needing me to entertain them. I'm trying to figure that out with you. I understand that as well. Do you ever miss your long hair? Yes and no. I love having short hair because I feel like it fits my face. I don't like it because I feel like I can't put it back in a ponytail all the time. But when I had long hair, I always had it in a ponytail, so I cut it shorter so that I would have to style it. So do you see what's happening here? What is your favorite book to read your kids for bedtime? I don't know, I don't think we have a favorite. What's your favorite? comment down below and let me know so that I can start reading it. We just kind of read whatever we've got, but we don't have a specific favorite. Your favorite summer fruit? Watermelon, 100%. I love watermelon. How is everything going? Homeschooling, finding me time. I think life is going pretty well. Now that I've set apart specific time to film every Saturday, I see a huge difference. I do want to film a separate video specific to homeschooling and kind of how that's going and what our plans are for like this fall. Do you have any tips for dealing with defiance in kids, particularly around age 4? I think this is Courtney. Girl, I feel you. I have my 4-year-old boy, and the last like week, I'm like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Where's the cameras? Is this real life? Who's gonna jump out and say like, gotcha? But I will say that book, For the Love of Discipline, it's so good. If you didn't watch it, I reviewed it up here and it is a game changer. It's so good. How are you doing with the 100 easy lessons to teach your child to read? I'm halfway through. I'm about the same and it's going really well. I really enjoy it and I enjoy how simple it is. If you could have dinner with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would you choose and why? Oh man, this is one of those questions that takes some prep. The first person that comes to mind is Jeannie from A Little About a Lot, because I love her and I'd love to sit down. Dinner would not be long enough though. I need like a trip, but I'd love to sit down and have dinner. Danette, my friend Danette, who's actually my mentor. Anytime I can get together with her, I love it, and it doesn't happen often because life's so busy. And Jesus, I mean, come on. You knew that was coming. I would definitely have dinner with Jesus. What do you do when you desperately need to get out of the house but without spending money? Girl. Are you spying on me? I can totally relate to that. What do I do when I need to get out of the house but I don't want to spend money? I will usually go for a walk. Like I will literally just go outside and I will walk because I need to get out of the house but I don't want to spend any money. Another thing I like to do is maybe drive to a local park and just walk through that. If you have like a state park or something near you, because you're out of the house, you're away from your house, but you're not spending any money. And being in nature is so therapeutic, absolutely. How do you manage the nights? As in, do you co-sleep? Is it you who wakes up if one of your kids wakes up, or does your husband help? How do you spend time to pray with your husband? Okay, so how do we co-sleep? Yes, we co-sleep with our youngest, Ingrid, and sleeping for us has always just been, I feel like we're just surviving for sleep. I feel like we just do what we need to do. If I can't get up because I'm nursing Ingrid and one of the kids is crying or needs help, I will yell John's name. John, get up. John, the kids need you. Like, I'm not afraid about doing that. And if I feel like he's not waking up enough, I'm gonna let him know. But we're best friends and we do what we need to do to survive. And so sometimes John gets up and takes care of them. Sometimes I get up. Sometimes Fiona comes in bed with us. Sometimes John goes in there with the boys. Like, it's a team effort over here. How do you spend time to pray with your husband? That is something that we need to work better at doing, because I feel like we'll pray with the kids like before bedtime, but I would love to set aside time to specifically just lock arms with John and pray over our home and our family. And so we need to do that. So thank you for asking that question. Have you and John decided on a long-term birth contraception method? We have not, but the idea of him going in for the big V sounds great to me, because I've already pushed 4 children out of me and carried them during pregnancy, so that would be fabulous. But we've not actually like sat down and done a huge discussion on it or have made a game plan, so we should probably do that. Do you have any Bible study suggestions for children that might have a parent companion? There is a catechism where it's like questions. It's for your kids and for the parents. I can't remember the name of it. If you guys know the name of it, comment down below. But it's very, very good. My husband actually got it and we haven't started it yet because I feel like it's probably gonna be a little bit better for when my kids get older. I will try to find it and link it below. Favorite ice cream flavor? I love like chocolate and brownies and coffee. Like anything like that, I'm good. What's your favorite coffee? Iced coffee. And I used to get caramel macchiatos at Starbucks, but I've never had like a go-to drink that I love at Starbucks, honestly. the way things come, I always find myself doctoring it. And then when I doctor it, it's really not even that amazing either. So once I started making my own cold brew, I love it. I love caramel and chocolate and all of those yummy creamers.